I'm Connie Medeiros with eXp Realty, and I wanted to go over the Novato housing update for December and also for the full year, and then look forward to 2026 about what is going on. In December, we had a big increase in the median purchase price, and it was 1.29 million. We only had 24 homes sell, which in December it's usually pretty slow, and 22 active inventory, which is a limited supply. 52 days on the market, which is an increase from November. It's a little bit high, and I think it has to do with the sale to list ratio, which is almost 94%, which isn't that great, which means sellers need to be a little bit more careful with their pricing. But this was the big thing that caught my eye, was this big increase in the median sale price. I mean, this is pretty typical. You know, we start in the winter, we go into the summer, we see a slight increase. And then it started a little early, but towards the fall, we see a slight decrease. But what I think this is more about is we had so limited sales and more larger homes sell. And so it kind of skewed the statistics. I looked at the median sale price of the contingent and pending sales, and it's not quite this high. So I think it was a little bit skewed. But still, the median sale price is good. It's around 1.2 million, which is great. Most people feel that, we're going to have a stable market. But with the limited supply, we were in a neutral to a buyer's market. We're definitely back towards a neutral seller's market. The days on market rose, which is again an indicator, I think, maybe that some properties weren't priced correctly. But properties that were in good condition were receiving multiple offers, which is wonderful. And then one of the big things that happened is the interest rates dropped below 6% for the first time in over 2 years. I think it's more like 2.5 years. And what happened is Trump announced he wanted Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to buy $200 billion worth of bonds, and the market reacted quickly. I think rates were at 6.15, and it made them drop down to 5.99 in reaction to what is going to happen. So there's a lot more affordability for buyers now. We're seeing a lot more applications for mortgages. And what this means for sellers, I mean, it's great for buyers because there's more affordability. But for sellers, you really need to think about, if you're going to sell in 2026, this might be a good time, because demand usually precedes supply. And so right now, there's an increase in demand from buyers because of the lower rates, but the supply is limited. So it makes it a perfect time to put a home on the market. And what we're seeing in Novato, which is partly why days on market is longer also, is there's two markets going on. We've got the turnkey homes, which means they've been updated, they're painted, they're well maintained, and they're professionally staged. And then the presentation, the agent is having great pictures taken and professional videography, which is so important. And I think most agents now in Marin do that. But then we're seeing other homes, maybe not as bad as this, but maybe in average condition, and they're not updated. They're sitting on the market longer. You have to be really careful and listen to your agent about pricing. I'm always happy to help. Because the longer they sit on the market, the less money you're likely to get for them. And so what this means for you, again, like I told you, I think it's a perfect time for sellers to put your home on the market now before more supply comes on. But invest in your pre-listing improvements. If you have the money, it's worth it. To paint is your friend, and declutter and clean, do those things. And if you're going to live in the house, I do a complimentary, have a professional stager come through and give you advice because the way we live in the house is not the way we want it presented when it's for sale. And then for buyers, this is a wonderful time because there is more affordability. Prices haven't appreciated that much. Get pre-approved, or actually get pre-underwritten, so that when you see a house that you like, you can move quickly and you can offer a shorter closing amount of time. But once you're underwritten, please don't make major purchases or change jobs. Just because you have a pre-approval letter doesn't mean it's static. I mean, they're going to keep checking your credit and other things. So be careful, because you may not get approved if you start doing things. And once you see a home you like, act quickly on it, because homes that are in good condition and priced correctly are moving pretty quickly. So what are experts predicting for 2026? And this is kind of what I think too. The market, it looks like it's going to start waking up. I expect the market to be better than last year. They don't expect a lot of appreciation, maybe 2%. Zillow is saying it's only going to be 1.2. I think Marin is such a desirable area that we'll probably see more appreciation in Marin County than in other areas, but there's more affordability for buyers, so there's going to be more activity. And I think for sellers, some sellers have been locked in. Maybe they have a 3% mortgage rate. So now that it's in the mortgage rates are in the fives, it makes it much more acceptable to sell your home, use your equity to buy something else. And if you need a small loan, a 5%, or high 5% mortgage rate isn't as bad as a 7% mortgage rate, which we were looking at before. And then Trump has proposed a ban on institutional home buyers, which I think would be great. It is not approved. It's just a proposal. But I love mom and pop, buyers, of investors. They own a couple properties, sometimes even 10, and it helps bring them money and make a better retirement. I think that is good. But I think he's talking about buyers that own, thousands and thousands of homes, and they come in and buy up. And I remember once in Santa Rosa, they were selling them, and it affected the values in the neighborhood because they had too many for sale. This was a long time ago, but it could have an impact on a little more inventory. I don't think there are that many investors in Marin County, though it is very attractive to them because there is usually a good return on their money, but it might make a few more homes available. So let's plan your 2026 strategy now. I do have seller and buyer guides. I'm happy to email you, or you can text me if you'd rather, and give me your email address and I'll send them to you. I will also attach them to this video. And if you'd like to book a one-on-one session on me, maybe you're just thinking about selling. It'd be a no pressure consultation. I can go through and tell you things you might want to do to increase the value of your home. And but if you want to buy or sell home, I would love to help you. Again, if you're a seller and you just want to know a rough idea of your home's value, I do have an AI that's a little bit better than Zillow I can send you. Or I'm happy to go there myself, which is always better to have an in-person look at it, because AI doesn't really know the condition of your home or some of the things you might have added, and give you a customized idea of what your home is worth. So my advice to you, if you are thinking of selling or buying in this coming year, just stay ahead of the market, really pay attention to what is going on, and the knowledge will help you move. Like right now, we have a shortage of homes. We have more demand than inventory. So it's an excellent time for sellers, but it's a good time for buyers too. but buyers need not to be emotional when they're making a purchase. You need to have your realtor really go over what homes in the neighborhood have sold for. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.